Hi, and welcome to our series of educational videos that are designed to make you a smarter gambler. My name is Steve Bourie, and I'm the author of the American Casino Guide, which is the #1 best-selling book in the U.S. on the subject of casino gambling and travel, and the only book that comes with more than $1,000 in casino coupons. If you want to know more about me or my book, be sure to visit my website at americancasinoguide.com. In this video, I'll be speaking with gambling expert Michael Shackleford, who is also known as the Wizard of Odds, and I ask him all about blackjack. We videotaped this interview with Mike in Las Vegas in September 2010, and I'm sure that it will help to answer many of the questions that you have about blackjack and how you can be a long-term winner at the game. What is the object of the game of blackjack?
The object of blackjack is to get more points than the dealer without going over 21.
How is the casino's mathematical advantage determined in blackjack?
The casino gets its advantage in blackjack because the player has to act first. If both the player and the dealer bust, the player loses. Now, how is the house advantage calculated in blackjack, you might ask? It's very calculated. It can be done a number of different ways, but basically you need computers to either simulate the game or run through every single combination of the ways the cards could play out, assuming the player plays correct strategy. And under most common sets of blackjack rules with basic strategy, the house advantage is going to range anywhere from about 0.25% all the way past 2% for horrible games like those that pay 6 to 5 on a blackjack.
Is a single deck game always better for the player?
The number of decks is very important in blackjack. The fewer the number of decks, the better the odds for the player. However, be careful. The casinos know that the players know that, so they're trying to trick the players with single deck games that pay only 6 to 5 on a blackjack. It's much better to play an 8-deck game that pays 3 to 2 on a blackjack than a single deck game that pays only 6 to 5. In other words, what they pay on a blackjack is much more important than how many decks they use.
What are some rule variations, and how do they affect the casino's advantage?
The rules have a lot to do with the house advantage in blackjack, and the rules vary significantly from casino to casino and table from table within the casino. The most important thing the player should look for with good rules is that they pay 3 to 2 on a blackjack. If they don't, walk away. It makes no difference what the other rules are. Once you find a 3 to 2 game, then it's good. The fewer the decks, the better. If you can play a double deck game, that's better than a 6-deck game. And other good rules to look for are, does the dealer hit or stand on a soft 17? It's to your advantage if the dealer stands on a soft 17. It's good if they let you double after a split. It's good if they let you surrender. It's good if they let you resplit aces.
Can you explain what a continuous shuffler is and how it affects the game?
A continuous shuffling machine is a time-saving shuffling device that was invented so that the dealers don't have to shuffle the cards every single time they reach the cut card. The way a continuous shuffler works is after the dealer has dealt around, they will scoop up all the cards, put them in a little pile, and feed them into the shuffling machine. There are usually 5 decks of cards in the shuffling machine, and the machine will randomly place those discards back into the shoe. Another question I get asked a lot is, are the odds worse in a continuously shuffled game? Actually, the odds are a little bit better, just a little bit better in a continuously shuffled game. It's mathematically complicated to explain why. However, the player should also keep in mind that because the dealer isn't taking breaks to shuffle the cards, there's going to be more hands per hour likely in a continuously shuffled game, and that's going to be more money that you can expect to lose per hour.
What is basic strategy?
Blackjack basic strategy is a strategy that tells you the mathematically correct way to play any player hand and any dealer up card. It looks like this. To use it, you would look up your hand going down this way, across the dealer's up card this way. For example, say I have an ace and a 7 or a soft 18 and the dealer's showing a 10. Most players would incorrectly stand on that hand saying, well, an 18 is good enough. But you look at the chart and it'll say H for hit. So the odds favor hitting in that situation. Any good blackjack player should memorize this basic strategy. Once you memorize this, you can cut the house advantage down under good rules to about 0.25%. Considering the comps you're going to get from the casino, it's like free entertainment.
Can a player be a long-term winner using a progressive betting system?
Well, first let me explain what a progressive betting system is. The most common one is called the martingale. And the way that works is every time you lose a bet, you double your bet the next time. So let's say you start with a dollar bet, you lose, then you bet 2, you lose, you bet 4, you lose that, you bet 8, you lose that, you bet 16. And then let's say you win that. You would win 16, but you would have lost 8, 4, 2, and 1, which add up to 15. So no matter, with the martingale, as long as you eventually hit a win, you're always going to net $1 for every single win. Sounds good? No. Because no matter how much money you have, it's eventually going to happen that you hit that string of losses and you don't have enough money to double again. Now, a lot of players falsely believe that these betting systems like this win, because most of the time they do. But the day that you can't double your bet that last time is going to be the day that you have given back everything that you've ever won up until that point. Computer simulations have shown that no betting system can survive the long term. They can't, not only can betting systems not overcome the house advantage, they can't even dent it. And please, no matter what you do, never pay for a book or a website that is selling betting systems. These are all charlatans and scam artists. They do not work over the long run.
How can a player be a long-term winner at blackjack?
Probably the most common way is through card counting, which absolutely does work. There are lots of movies about it and books about it. The basic principle is that when the remaining cards in the shoe are rich in tens and aces, the odds favor the player. When the remaining cards are rich in small cards, the odds favor the dealer. So the player is going to bet more when the deck is rich in good cards, and he's going to make adjustments to his strategy to hit less and double more in the situations when the deck is rich in the good cards.
Can a player be a long-term winner using basic strategy?
The basic strategy is great. You can cut down the house advantage to 0.26% under liberal strip rules. However, you can't overcome the house advantage with basic strategy alone. The casino is always going to have a slight advantage. So the player should not count on winning long-term with the basic strategy. However, if the player factors in comps and tournament invitations and other niceties that the casino gives you, much like in video poker, you can come out ahead with the basic strategy.
Does it matter where you sit at the table?
One question I get a lot is, does it make any difference where you sit at the blackjack table, whether it be first base, the first player to act, or third base, the last player, or somewhere in the middle? The odds make absolutely no difference. Another common myth is that the third baseman controls the game for all the players, and if he makes a bad play, it's going to cause everyone to lose. That's absolutely a myth. The odds are the same no matter how the third baseman plays his hit cards.
Since blackjack is a game of skill, if you are at a table with a lot of bad players, does it affect your odds of winning?
Blackjack is absolutely a game of skill. However, what matters is your skill. What the other players are doing makes no difference at all. It's a common myth that bad players at the table cause everybody to lose. Absolutely not true. You could be playing with the world's worst blackjack players, and it's not going to make any difference to you over the long run.
Does it matter if you play at a full table or an empty table?
Mathematically speaking, the odds don't matter whether you're playing at a full table or an empty table. However, at a full table, you're going to be getting a lot fewer hands per hour, So if you're trying to minimize your expected losses per hour, then it's better to play at a full table. If you want a lot of hands per hour, obviously, you should be playing by yourself. Now, when the casinos calculate comps, they go by average bet and time played. So if you're trying to get the most comp mileage out of your play, play at a full table, because you're going to be betting less money but still getting the same benefit as a player playing by himself.
Should a player ever take insurance?
Unless you're counting cards, absolutely never take insurance. The house advantage on the insurance is 7.7%. It's a lousy bet, and before you ask, don't take insurance or even money, even if the dealer has an ace up. It's still a lousy bet. Try to get the full 3-2 payout. Now, there is an exception for card counters. If somehow you know that the remaining cards are rich in lots of tens, then insurance can become a good bet. But if you have no idea, if you're not tracking for that, always decline insurance.
What is your best advice for blackjack players?
My best advice for blackjack players is to seek out games with good rules, 3-2 in a blackjack, preferably double deck, preferably the dealer stands on a soft 17. You can look up the house advantage for any set of blackjack rules on my website, and there's lots of other books and sources that give you that information as well. Then you should play good strategy. The basic strategy is a great place to start. This will cut down the house advantage to a very thin amount. If this is too complicated, I have something on my website, wizardofodds.com, called the Wizard's Simple Blackjack Strategy, which is just about 16 rules of thumb that will get you very close to the house advantage that you could get with the basic strategy.
Would you suggest going to comedian Jimmy J.J. Walker for blackjack advice?
A little problem they don't know, but thank goodness I came in. The professional is here leading us the way.
Okay, your best piece of advice for other blackjack players.
Never hit on 12. That's a cardinal sin. Never hit on 12, ever. Never.
Absolutely not.
How can people learn more about you and your work?
If you want to improve your odds in any casino game, I welcome you to visit my website, wizardofodds.com. It'll show you the correct strategy to at least 100 different casino games. Or you can buy my book, Gambling 102, which will show you how to play the most common casino games.